my task for today is to talk about a very important topic, which is popularizing scientific and technical information. Sino po sa atin ang extension staff or extension worker? Okay, you have. Kindly raise your hand for those who are involved in extension work. Yes, well, hello, mga kagrupo. That is also my field. And one of our major talent should be, translating scientific information into something tangible, bite-sized, digestible, yung easily understood by our target audience, okay? Kasi di ba ngayon, so we have a lot of innovations, a lot of research outputs, especially for our SUCs, ang dami-daming lumalabas. So it has become essential to simplify complex concepts and make them accessible to everyone. So we have digested the topic into 4 subcomponents kasi we would like to give you a run-through of how it's best to popularize technical information. So how many of you have tried communicating climate data to farmers or fisher folks? So di ba may konting challenge talaga how would you explain data like the forecast from Pag-asa or the result of a certain research from your office sa mga farmers and fisher folks? Sa amin pong communicator, one of the basic talent daw dapat na meron tayo is ma-explain ng isang konsepto sa isang 10-year-old kid. So pag na-explain mo siya sa isang 10-year-old na bata, it is tantamount to being successful of explaining it kahit kanino pa ako, sino mang makausap mo, technical or non-technical. Okay? So what are the subtopics we'd like to discuss with you? The basics of science communication, how to popularize some concepts, the visual tools and other artistic methods, and some tips on developing infographics. Kasi it seems to be very popular nowadays because one page lang, nafi-fit natin yung mga essential information about a certain topic. So why are we gonna define science communication? Dr. Velasco, one of the professors of the College of Development Communication at UP Los Baños, defined science communication as fostering understanding, appreciation, and application of science in the scientific process in a manner that encourages participation by various stakeholders. So in this manner, we don't view science communication as merely i-disseminate mo lang o i-distribute mo yung information or research results, but we wanted people to take action on the information that they get. Kung baga, they get an information and then they do something about it. Meron silang informed decision or they can have better courses of action to take kasi meron silang bagong information na nakuha. So it's not just public understanding, but it's also deciding on something based in science. So under SciComm or science communication are 4 domains. And one of those 4 domains are yung popularizing technical information. But first, let us discuss scientific communication or communication among professionals and communities of practice. So example dito yung mga professors natin sa universities or yung mga scientists, they usually go into a group or get into a meeting to discuss the results of a new study. For example, yung global temperature rise na na-publish sa isang peer-reviewed journal such as Nature or Science. So this group of climate experts or scientists or professors share the findings, debate on the methodologies, and discuss implications within their professional community. So when you publish a research result, it opens doors for experts in the field to respond with critics or further studies. Now, ano naman po itong number 2, itong technical or semi-popular communication involving technicians and policymakers? Ito naman po, may group of experts and then yung policymakers. For example, sa munisipyo, a group of engineers can meet with certain government officials to discuss the technical details of probably implementing a renewable energy solution, such as solar power grids in a municipality. Yung mga engineers, yung mga scientists can provide the data and technical explanations, while yung mga policymakers at government officials, ang itatanong nila is, ano yung feasibility niyan? How much does it cost? And what are the potential impacts sa environment? So that's the second domain of science communication. Next is popular science communication or popular SciComm with the general public. Dito magsisenter yung succeeding discussions natin. So in this number 3 domain, yung science communicator appears on a popular TV show. Example, si Madam. Nag-appear siya sa isang TV show. And then, in-explain niya yung mga complex scientific concepts such as the importance of vaccination or bakit kailangang mag-plant ng trees to prevent climate change. So, through TV, nagiging engaging yung transfer ng information at understandable for a general audience. So, usually din pag nagtotalk ng ganyan sa TV, di ba minsan yung nagre-report ng weather, may mga graphics, may umuulan o biglang may kidlat. So, nagkakaroon ng complementation of visuals in a way na yung mga tao naiintindihan nila kahit wala silang scientific background. Kasi may interplay of experts talking about something and then meron ding visuals to solidify the information. Then last is the communicating science with the aid of technology. Dito papasok yung mga apps, YouTube, TikTok, na surprisingly dun sa aming needs assessment survey, marami pala dito sa Isabela ang nagti-TikTok at saka nag-open ng mga reels pagising sa umaga. Meron nga kami na-interview na lola na nagre-reels. Sabi ko, Lola, ano po, Manang, ano po yung nire-reels nyo? Yung itatanim daw niya. Kung ano daw itatanim niya pagising or yung paghahalaman niya. So sabi ko, hindi lang pala siya specific sa younger age groups. Meron din palang mga seniors na interested sa Reels at TikTok. Kasi daw mabilis sila nakakakuha ng information. Tapos ganun-ganun lang. Pag ayaw nila, swipe lang. So this is something that we are considering. Kami rin po sa project namin, we are looking into the validity of having TikToks and videos para mas maka-add sa information na ibibigay po namin sa aming mga users like farmers and fisher folks. Okay, so how do we popularize technical concepts? 4 tips lang po ang ibibigay ko. First is use to translate by explaining or describing a technical jargon. Halimbawa, carbon footprint. You explained it in such a way na simple lang. So, di ba, we need to make it simple para mas ma-empower yung mga tao na maintindihan at gamitin yung technology. So, for example, for carbon footprint, it's like the trail you leave behind when you go somewhere. But instead of leaving footprints, it's the amount of carbon dioxide and other gases that you release into the atmosphere. Second is pwede ka rin mag-cite ng example or mag-point out ng differences like ano ba yung pagkakaiba ng global warming versus climate change. Pwede kang magbigay ng 2 column lang eh. Like halimbawa, yung daw global warming is just like boiling water in a pot. So pag umiinit siya, di ba? So that's global warming. You're heating a pot of water on the stove. So nag-rise lang yung temperature. That's just global warming. But when it comes to climate change, it's a more varied, maraming processes na involved. Kasi you could have the boiling water, then there would be steam, and then there would be evaporation. So mas marami. So parang kung i-compare mo yung global warming sa increase in Earth's temperature, climate change naman refers to the shifts in the weather patterns kasi merong mga evaporation, condensation, and so all of those things that affect our Earth system. So you can also use appropriate language and familiar terms. One of our resource persons, Sir Pichas, came in. Yun daw, workshop nila dun sa kabila sa Subnational Competence Center, they came out with a publication as a sample. Tapos tinatanong niya yung mga taga-LGUs, magagamit ba natin to sa farmers and fisher folks? Ang sagot nila, hindi. Bakit? English po yan. So there is some consideration dun sa ano ba yung ibibigay niya sa farmers or fisher folks. Gusto ba nila ng English? Gusto ba nila ng Tagalog? Or sa language po na familiar sila dito sa Isabela. So talagang meron pong extra effort to look into what appropriate language or terms that you should be using. The second technique to popularize technical concepts is to report a process. Mahilig tayo sa steps, what to do, DIY. So it's an engaging process that you can also apply in your knowledge products by, you can enumerate step-by-step process, pwedeng before and after para showing the results. Parang before, what will you do if you do this, then after, ito yung mangyayari. So visualization ng before and after. You can also point out consequences of the problem or identify solutions. Itong sample infographic na to is an explanation on how climate change could impact the world. So merong visualization on the cost. Gustong-gusto ng mga tao yan kapag mataas ang presyo, nakikinig sila Pag masyadong mababawasan yung kanilang monetary resources. Then third, this is said to be the most effective and relevant way of popularizing a scientific and technical concept. Bakit? Kasi nagtetel ka ng story. Di ba mahilig tayo sa stories? Lumaki tayo sa mga lolo't lola natin at sa peers natin na nagsasabi ng stories. So in a way, this humanizing component makes it relatable to everyone. In our series of workshops, we are learning na mas nakikinig ang tao pag sinimulan mo ang lecture ng storya. And I think some of you are nodding because you are probably applying it as well in your respective work. So, yung mga concept ng marites, at saka ano nga po ba yung lalaki pag marites at saka tolits, di ba? Yung concept of marites and tolits are, are offshoots of how people like Filipinos love stories. So kung gusto nyo mag-share ng concepts, you can also start by doing visuals that are telling stories. Ito pong Prof. Tilaok na to is an award-winning comic strip noong 2019. It discusses the effectiveness and benefits of a low-cost, portable molecular diagnostic platform for rapid detection of select poultry pathogens. In short, ito ay portable kit na pwedeng gamitin ng isang ordinary poultry farmer para ma-detect kung anong pathogens ang meron sa farm niya. So in just a page, pwede niyo po siyang iwan sa farmers and then let them read on it at their own pace and time. So sabi nila, telling stories is one of the most effective and relevant way of popularizing a scientific and technical concept. Pwede rin tayo mag-visualize ng concepts like graphs, diba? Like pies or charts, and then figures to help digest statistical information. Minsan kasi sobrang dami talaga at sobrang complex ang data, like carbon emission, temperature rise, and sea level changes. So we need something that can help audience understand these kinds of trends quickly and effectively. So sabi nila, people are more likely to remember information that is presented visually. So kesa puro text or puro talk, it should be visual heavy as well. Siyempre, complementary. So these are some examples of artistic methods in communicating climate change. So meron tayong paintings, this one, ano ba to? Where's my cursor? Yeah, the bear, the snow bear. Then this, the lady on top, ano siya Swedish teen activist sa environment. Na-feature na siya sa Time magazine. And then the other one are geospatial maps that shows how climate events such as typhoons and drought are distributed across an era. Climate change can also use theater, musical performances, and film and media. So from our college, ipopromote na rin po namin itong 1,000 Forest. Have you heard of it? So the UP Los Baños partnered with a media company to produce a movie about climate change. So it is parang hina-highlight na habang bata pa, everybody needs to plant trees as one way of contributing to the fight against climate change. So this is very unique. So if you would have time, naka-streaming na po siya sa YouTube, sa Spotify, and ano yun? Muso. Yeah. So you check it out po.